Fragments of silicon, not the best choice for an umbrella.
All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon Daylight Interviews. Joining us this week is ZloUmOE of Bucketful Games.
Hi, thanks for the invite.
No problem, no problem. Right, so let's get into things. Right, we like to start our interviews by asking this particular question, and that is, what got you interested in video games, both on a personal and a professional level?
I was playing video games since I was a kid. With about 5 years or so, I was introduced to the Commodore C64, and since then, I just kept on playing. When I visited friends, they had a C64, and we played for hours through until I got my own one, and yeah, from then it just continues or continued. Then at some point I got my first PC, then a better PC, a better PC. Always been a PC player, and yeah, it's the age of 13, I guess. Around 13, I thought, hey, I love PC games, I love video games. I maybe want to become a game developer at some point. So I got into computer science and informatics class. And then after that, I thought game development might not be for me because I didn't understand coding very much after that, and thought, when I even don't get coding, I might not get into game development at all. So
They don't tell you about all the not fun parts when you're starting out.
Yeah. So then I buried that dream really fast because I thought, that's not for me. So then I pursued other dreams, like learned electric guitar, joined or formed a metal band with a few friends, and buried that dream again after we broke up. Yeah, then a couple of years have passed. I got a job, got a wife, got kids, everything, and at some point I started to study electronics, and there I learned to code in C, C++, and a couple of other coding languages like BASIC, etc. And this got me into coding again, actually. And with C and C++, I thought, hey, it's not that hard to understand, and it's also kind of fun. So after my studies finished, I thought, hey, I need something to get to not forget coding, how to code, and then to not get out of the loop. So there was this Humble bundle that had some Unity assets and also a Unity coding course. I purchased it and started to follow this tutorials, and this started the whole thing. And after about 20 years, after I've buried my dream of becoming a game developer, I actually became one. And here we go. Here we are.
Well, never too late, I suppose. At least that's what they say. And how long have you been developing video games?
It's now nearly 4 years, or a little more than 4 years.
4 years. That's a pretty sizable time to be pecking at this, I think. And I see you've made at least 3 games, at least on your itch.io.
Yes, and all developed within the last 2 years. I started with developing on Unity, and started also with 3D games right away, and had also really fun and was into it. But at some point, I had less and less time for this hobby to game dev. It went down to sitting down at one evening on Fridays or Saturdays for 1 to 2 hours or so. This didn't really cut the corner, and I couldn't advance really fast. So I had to rethink my whole situation, how I can continue with game development on a more regular basis. So I started to learn the Godot engine and to use the Godot engine. And there was a game jam which I joined, which went on for 3 weeks, I think. And within these 3 weeks, I've learned how to use the Godot engine, and also switched from working from home in the evenings, because I was getting so tired over the last years. I just wanted to sleep at night. So I started to develop my games during my lunch breaks on my full-time job.
Okay. I think you made the right choice, given the circumstances. Because
yeah, I think so.
I mean, we've had people who jump into the full 3D Unity stuff, and it's not a surprise that they say it took them 2 to 3 years to get through that, at least. Like, oh yeah, I think we had a few people spend 5 years toiling away at their first game. It's like, but I suppose
it can really take quite some time to get running, to get the idea of everything. There are just so many approaches you can do with game development, depending on the type of game, depending on the genre, depending on if it's 2D or 3D, etc. And you need also some time to just get the whole concepts behind the coding and programming architecture, so you won't run into a dead end at some point.
And I suppose along those lines, how does the Godot engine compare to Unity?
At least it was strange, because it has some other concepts behind it. For example, in Unity, you have scenes, and if you have some objects you have built yourself to instantiate and reuse in different scenes, you save them as a preset. And the whole build up is more or less like the Windows Explorer. And in Godot engine, you have a more Android-like or Linux-like system. You have a node system, where every node can be everything from a scene to a small preset or a small prefab, but it's not a prefab but a scene. So I had to get around or wrap my head around this concept for quite some time. But once I got it, it just clicked, and yeah, I think it's easier to start building games and making games in Godot than it is in Unity, because it's also not that complex, and doesn't have this amount of options and stuff Unity has.
That is interesting, if nothing else, because I mean, we have a lot of people who come in here and work in Unity. Not surprising, but you know, not a lot of people have picked up the Godot engine quite yet. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the Godot community is steadily growing, especially over the last 1 or 2 years, as far as I've observed it. It's open source also compared to Unity, and
right.
many people are contributing to it, and there are a few people who who are developing it and integrating all the contributions into the engine, and they're steadily growing and developing the engine. It's also there's also close to a new release, version 4.0. Yeah, it's currently in the beta state, and it's a more or less complete rework of the engine from ground up, to be more scalable, etc. And also has more features like a Vulkan support for 3D games, etc. So the whole architecture got a modernization, and 4.0 will be, I think, more or less a game changer. So I think and hope that more and more people will pick it up at some point, and so just try it out, play around with it. Because at least for 2D games, it's really nice and really easy to use.
Yeah. That is what I've heard from the fair few others who have come on this program and used the Godot engine. Anyway, advancing forward, we should probably talk about your latest venture. That is Chair Racing Simulator. And I suppose the first question is just why? Why make a game about chair racing?
This was more or less a coincidence. It all emerged from another game jam I have joined and also been hosting. The title was Wasted Resources and Don't Waste Your Energy. And I thought about it, and at first I wanted to do a lazy person simulator. So the concept behind that was you have to do your daily work stuff and get through the day with the least amount of energy used. But yeah, time went on, and in between I got sick. I got COVID, and wasn't that bad, but it's really kicked me off my plan and track. And a few days before submission deadline, I only had one mechanic really built up in the game, and that was advanced further from A to B on a wheelchair, not wheelchair, on a desk chair, and with the same amount of energy. So you get faster on a desk chair compared to going just walking. And this was more or less the only mechanic I had there. And after some discussions with some friends, I just decided to overthrow the whole concept and just make the chair racing simulator. where you race around the track to get one game finished. And yeah, this is how and why there's this cherry simulator now.
Okay, like not the story I was expecting, but a fascinating one nonetheless. Like, just goes to show you, necessity is indeed sometimes the mother of all invention. Right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's also a happy coincidence.
It does follow in the game jam spirit, though, because that's kind of what, as at least as I understand it, what game jams are all about. You know, usually making a very small or limited kind of game in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Yeah. And I assume that the game jam version of this did well enough, or you liked it well enough to make it a full-blown experience?
Yeah, definitely. I started to make this game, and at first it was really simple. Like it had a few characters to choose from and one track. The stopwatch was broken, etc., etc. But the main concept was there, and it was really fun to play already. So as I thought, I just built up on that, and here we go. A few months later, there are 4 tracks, 12 characters, with one secret character also, and yeah, a couple more ideas I have in mind to add to it.
Okay. And would you consider the game to be 1.0 at this stage?
No, it's far from it. The current version I've online is 0.1.3.7.
Okay.
So I think it's far from being complete, but already playable. My idea behind it to already publish updates, etc., is to get some feedbacks for every new feature, for every new track I get, so I can improve during production, during further development, based on actual feedback from players and not on other developers or only other developers and my own opinions.
Well, is the game actually available to like purchase or download at this stage?
It's completely free at the moment, so you can play it on itch.io. I have a itch.io page, and you can play it inside the browser or download it for Windows or Linux.
Okay. And what's the overall scope that you're going for here? Like, how big can you make a concept like chair racing simulator?
Well, you can blow it up like crazy. There's not much of a limit if you think about it. But I want to go I want to add a track for every character. That would be 12 tracks. There will be 2 or 3 more game modes. At the moment, we only have time attack and two player split screen. So I want also to add AI opponents. That's what I'm working on right now. Also, some kind of last man sitting or last one sitting mode where you race around the tracks, and the last one of the round will get kicked out until only one is left, and this will be the winner. Kind of that. Then another mode would be um, it's called Reach the Couch. I thought I would make a linear track where you have to where you have only a few seconds or like 20 seconds to get to the destination and reach the right couch and sit there to win the race.
I
Yeah,
gotta admit
kind of that.
that's a lot for such a simple concept.
Yeah, but my opinion is always when I make a game and publish a game, I want it to be fun and wanted to play myself, to have fun with it. And yeah, at the moment, at least so without the AI opponent, I think it's getting a little bit boring at some point because you only have the tracks racing on your own. It's might be more fun with a friend on the couch. You can then play the split screen mode and have some fun there. I think this adds a lot to the game and to the fun of the game. But I'm always looking to make a game which I want to play and where I have fun to play it. So that's why I'm adding more and more stuff to it.
Yeah. And do you have any like time estimations on how long it's gonna take to implement all these features, or just taking it as it comes, so to speak?
Yeah, more or less. At the beginning of the year, I had some kind of a drawback. I had to rearrange my whole development setup, and I'm still getting back into it to get a more regular schedule to sit on at my games. And yeah, at the moment it's still a bit hard to estimate the whole time that will be needed to implement everything I have in mind. Some ideas might get kicked out in the end, but yeah, at the moment I think I don't know. I don't know how long it will take. I just taking it step by step and taking always really small chunks of work of things I want to implement and then see how long it takes and yeah, then go on until it's ready, until it's finished.
Okay. And what are you working on right now at time of recording?
Right now, I'm working on a Halloween version for the game.
Oh,
so the idea behind that is that every character you can choose from gets another mask, a typical horror mask. Like one will be a pumpkin head, one will be a ghost, another one will be Jason from Friday the 13th, stuff like that, and yeah, that's what I'm working right now. Also thinking about making a kind of filter to darken the whole tracks and have a light around your character to get a more spooky vibe to it.
And do you have other holiday themed updates? Like, do you plan on doing a Christmas update in that style?
Yeah, probably. Last year I did a Halloween and Christmas version of my other game, Absolutely Barbaric, where the Christmas version is still online to play on my itch page because I haven't time to finish the next update yet. But yeah, there will probably also be a Christmas version of Cherry Racing Simulator.
Okay. And shifting away from that, let's talk about the actual racers. stats. And are the characters distinct? Do they have different stats? And for that matter, do the chairs that they use, are they different?
At the moment, no. Every character and every chair has the same stats, and it doesn't matter which character you choose. You will always have the same speed and traction and everything.
On one hand, I think it's more fun and balanced that way, but on the other hand, it would be really fun if you had like an office chair catalog with all the benefits of the different models.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about adding something like that. Another streamer mentioned that 2 times, I think, that he wished that the characters would have different stats. So I'm thinking about a way to implement that already. And of course, the game is called Chair Racing Simulator. Honestly, this was more or less a joke at first for me, because there are so many simulator games in the past or lately. And I thought, yeah, Chair Racing Simulator would be some kind of funny, but yeah, in some future update there might be a version where you can choose different seats, and the seats will have different stats, etc. I have to see how I can implement it and how this might work out, because yeah, at the beginning of every race, you're not on your chair but on your feet, and have to run to the chairs first. And yeah, one thing I have to think about is, shall I change every chair, or will there be a different chair for different characters, and first come first serve, or whatever? I have to see how it's going and how it's working out. But okay. I'm certain that the characters will get different stats at some point.
Makes sense. And are there any sort of power-ups in the game? Like if you pick up a broom, do you go faster and stuff like that?
Yeah, there are 2 power-ups and another collectible at the moment. The first thing, and this is also a remnant of the game jam. You can collect energy drinks to refill your energy, which is at the bottom. This gets lower when you're driving, and stays still when you're also standing still. So at some point it will reach a critical state, so you will have to collect an energy drink to refill it, or the game will be game over because your energy runs out. Then I've added 2 other power-ups. One is a turbo sneaker. When you collect the turbo sneakers, you get a 3 seconds turbo boost, velocity boost.
Mm-hmm. And okay, it sounds like we're all still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think guests might have accidentally muted themselves or something. We'll see.
Or they're having connection issues.
Or that.
Hang on, let me.
Hello?
There we go.
Hello.
I don't know.
Yeah, you dropped for a second there.
Okay, what was the last thing you've heard from me?
You were talking about power-ups.
Yeah, the turbo sneakers.
Okay, yeah, the turbo sneakers update is when you collect them, you get a 3 seconds turbo boost, like a velocity boost. And then there's a wheel shield, which will protect your wheels from the chair, from the rocks and puddles that are everywhere around the tracks, which will slow it down or let you lose control.
Okay. And
there's also the idea to get something, add something like banana peel or something to which you can throw on the floor and disturb the others with it, but haven't added it yet and thought it out well. So it's put on the bank for now.
Like any other concepts that you've got percolating in terms of power-ups?
Not yet, really. One of the premises of this game, I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, and also use as few as possible buttons for it. So the only control or the only buttons you need are a D-pad or the arrow keys or whatever, and a button for use. Which will get you off the chair or on the chair or into a pool or on the couch.
Did it drop again?
The joys of live broadcasting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're back, I think.
Yes.
I'm back? Okay.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of lost the place there, but all right. So, any plans to bring this game to Steam when it's completed, or any plans to take this commercial? Is it just going to be free forever?
Yeah, probably. I have to see how it goes and how the overall acceptance of the players or anyone who plays it is. But yeah, at some point I think it would make sense to add it to Steam. Take probably a couple of bucks for it. But at the moment, these are only very loose plans. There might be a version on Steam just to get some more reach, some more attention, and it's will probably be a paid game at some point. But at the moment, I consider it as a kind of alpha state thing. And I don't want to charge anyone for that kind of game yet.
Fair enough, I suppose. And let me see here. So your game was one of the featured entries in the Indie Racing Festival 2022, of which we participated in. How did that come about?
At one day, I was scrolling through Twitter and coincidentally saw a tweet, writing about the Indie Racers Festival. It was like 2 or 3 weeks before it started. This got me interested because I actually have a racing game, and also wanted to get some more attention and more people to play it. And yeah, then I joined their Discord, talked with the organizers, and after a short while, I was in, and yeah, this is how it came about. One premise for of them was to do something extraordinary out of the order, to make something with the game which is not the typical thing you do with it because it's free. So as a bonus, I made up a competition. People could post their best times on all 4 available tracks, and the winner got an own character into the game.
Sounds neat.
Yeah, I think in the end I got like 5 or 6 submissions or something, and the winner character is already implemented. I think I have a video of it on my pinned to my Twitter site.
Yeah. I forget. Was that one of the games we ended up looking at, or?
I don't remember if we had time for that one.
Yeah, I mean, like on the streaming side, it was kind of chaotic because there were so many people, and I couldn't say that the front loading organization was all that good. In terms of handing out resources and all that stuff. I mean, from what I understand, this was their first jab at it.
Yeah, it was the first kind of or the first version of the Indie Racers Festival. There are plans for a second one. They're already planning it. And also in terms of organization, there were some more discussions about it to make it better the next time.
Yeah, I believe a lot of people complained about, or at least on the streaming site complained about disorganization. So hopefully that can be ironed out next year. Anyway, so I don't think we've actually talked about the tracks. What tracks are available in the game? Like, where are you racing?
At the moment, the 4 homes of the first 4 characters are available.
Okay, and are they tangibly different in terms of like design, or are they just like the same track with different aesthetics?
No. Different. They all have different aesthetics and also different layouts, because nobody wants to play a racing game and play 12 times the same track and just with other optics. So I was aiming at making every track unique and different. The second track, Eddie's Home, is actually made as a resemblance to a friend of mine, to his home, and he sent me a plan of his flat, and I made the track according to that plan. So this was kind of fun. Also, the next track will be a resemblance of a real home of Anthony. It's also a friend of mine. So I'm just trying to make every track different to the others, to have a variety and still have, some fun and also some challenge to improve yourself on the times. I've also started to add little details to every track, which have nothing to do with the game itself, but maybe kind of fun when someone discovers them. For example, in the first track, there's a couch with someone sitting on it, watching TV or playing a game on TV, and looking kind of sad. And you can get off your chair and sit on the couch next to this person, which will make her or this person happy and gets a heart above their head and also above your head. On the fourth track, Betty's Home, you can use the pool which is outside of the home. And swim in it. Both will give you energy back as long as you're inside. but it really doesn't have anything to do with the racing itself, because it just slows you down and destroys your best times when you're going for it. But I thought it's kind of funny, and maybe if someone is bored and wants to just run around the tracks, he might discover something.
Right. And I guess my final question is, are you working on any sort of future game jam project, or just any ideas for a game beyond Chair Racing Simulator at this point?
Yeah, I'm also working on my other game. It's a hack and slash game called Absolutely Barbaric. Yeah, they're also close to the next update, which adds procedurally generated levels for the second area. And after that, I will start with the next area. So I'm still busy with this game and Absolutely Barbaric. And but of course, as soon as I have any idea for any other games, I write them down. There are already some ideas that I have written down, that I've also started working on. For example, before I started working with Godot engine, there was a mix between hack and slash and jump run. I was working on in 3D in Unity, called The Legend of Namuria, where you play as an alien that has crashed on a planet and need to get back. And I have a couple of ideas, and I don't think that I will run out of any stuff to work on after Chair Racing Simulator and Absolute Barbaric are finished.
Okay. And I'll see if my colleagues here have any further questions for you.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Right, ZloUmOE, it was wonderful having you on the show here to talk
Thanks
about
for inviting me.
No problem, no problem. We'd like to hear from developers of all stripes, and if nothing else, this is certainly an interesting game to look into. I
hope so.
Mm-hmm. So the game is Chair Racing Simulator. It is currently available for free on itch.io. So be sure to go download it today if you are so inclined. Right. So yeah, that'll about do it for this.
There will be a Halloween version within the next days. Okay. So you might watch out for that one.
Indeed. All right. So yeah, that'll about do it for this installment of Fragments Silicon. Be sure to tune in next time for our traditional Sunday review session. And until then, I shall wish you good gaming.
Thanks. You too. Have a nice day.